Hello guys, welcome back to the Beastie Room. Now as we're going to carry on with a few more rehouses of some spiders that we've had come through, and today we are going to do this Ornithoctonus species Uthai Thani. Now I haven't had a lot to do with these guys, to be fair. We've seen a few of them around. I don't know how big this one is. All I've been told is it's an absolute nightmare. So we shall see. So we are going to take it out of this enclosure that is in here. This is what it came in, and we are going to put it in this 20 by 20 by 30 Komodo. Now I like these for fossorial spiders. These are absolutely ideal. I really do like them, and we can fill them up either halfway or 2/3 of the way up. Add a little bit of stuff to it, and they look a treat, and they actually do really well in them. They've got a complete mesh top on them as well, and by using these, it's very easy to actually work out the moisture content in our soil, because we can see when we water down, you can see it all. So everything is on show. We know exactly what's going on. So what we're going to do, we'll fill this up. We'll get this filled up as we go. I've got to take my time because I've been told I make too much noise in the bag. So we're going to get this in here. Now these are a fossorial spider from Thailand, and there is very little known about them, to be fair. They've been around a little while, but there's not very much known about them. So what we're going to do, we are going to treat them exactly the same as any of our other Asian fossorial spiders. And you remember, we have this come up a lot. We get asked this an awful lot about, I've just bought this particular spider, can't find no information on the internet. You know, what do I do? Well, first things first, those that are selling it, you would hope would give you a little bit of information about how to care for it, because the internet isn't always the best place to get stuff, and to be fair, it's not always there. So what we then do is we look back and we try and find out where the spider comes from. So in this case it comes from Thailand. So we can pretty much assume that the aspects of care for this spider will be very similar to, say, something like a lividus, the cobalt blue. So we can follow along them lines, and to be honest, you won't go far wrong by doing that. So what we're going to do, we're literally going to put a little bit of bark in here, and this is not to do anything. What's this creaking? And all we're going to do is we're going to just poke our fingers down to make some starter burrows. We'll do the same here, and our spider can choose where it wants to go. Be nice and easy for it. And we've got a little bit of moss here. This is purely just to give it a little bit of colour, really. That's all. I ain't going to do anything else. We'll stick a little bit of that in there. Chances are, once it goes down and starts burrowing away, it will cover that moss up anyway. So we're going to put a little bit on the back, a little bit on that one as well. And what we're doing here, this is just so that we can stick a little bit of moss up here. Nothing else, nothing fancy. So we're going to put a little bit up there, and a little bit on this one. And you can see now, just that little tiny bit of moss gives it a little bit of colour and what have you. It just makes it a little bit better. And what you've got to remember is when we play around with these enclosures like this, a lot of the stuff, especially with fossorial spiders, they will dig it out and they will bury the majority of this. So what we do is we allow them to do all of that, and then after a few days, once they've settled in, we then come in and we pull this back out, shake it out, and we redo the front, and we keep it nice and tidy like that. So it's a nice easy way of doing it. And then normally once they've they're done with their digging and bits and pieces, that is it. They don't normally struggle too much after that. So we're just going to water this in a little bit. Just stick a little bit in there. And then what we can do, we can fire some water down, right down in the corners. We'll do the same in this one. You'll probably be able to see that. And we'll put it down literally in the four corners. And then what this will do, this water will seep out into the surrounding soil, and it will gain moisture. And we can see there by the colouring of the soil, you can see the difference. So it's very, very easy to maintain it like that. So we've got our starter holes. We've done that. We'll get a little bit of tissue now just to clean up where we've had the water on the glass, because we all like to have a nice piece of glass to look at our spider. Now with these guys, if you want to see a spider that's out and about all the time, many of these fossorial spiders are not a great choice. That being said, if we feed them right and get them happy, we will see quite a bit of them. And this is normally, we'll see them normally around in the mornings, early evening, when things are nice and quiet. They get into a routine and we will start to see them then. As we've said before, if you've got a fossorial spider and you're complaining because you never ever see it, it's normally because it's overfed. Right, let's close that door.
I'm going to get my stool too. Okay, I'll shut the door.
Our neighbour is out refelting his shed roof. He's making a right racket. Right then, so as you can see here, what they do is they build these web turrets and they come up and they literally throw in all this stuff. So as an idea, what can look really, really nice is you can add leaves and things to your enclosure and they will pull them up and put it in, and they can make a really, really pretty turret and what have you, just for that purpose. And it camouflages it in. So what we've got to do now is we've got to dig her out. Now we've already been warned that she is a bit of a handful. We are going to get a catch cart. Hopefully we've got that one, and we've got our bigger one here in case she ends up being a bit of a bigger spider. Like I say, we've not seen this spider, so we haven't got a clue what it's like or how big it is or anything else. So as we can see on the outside here, this is the tunnel, goes down here, so presumably she is going to be down here. You can see webbing here, so there's a good chance she is going to be up here. It's also open all the way around here as well. Right, okay, let's see if we can't poke her out without once I get to see her, I will turn this around so you guys can see. Right, here she comes. So she is in there. And what we want to do, here she comes. She doesn't actually look too big, so we should get away with a small catch cup. Here we go. Now apparently she has got quite the temper, so we are going to see. You notice what we're doing with the paintbrush, we're coming in behind her, and that stops her from going back down. So now we've got her to the mouth, we can come in behind her from here. Here we go, a little bit of a jump there. What a gorgeous, pretty spider. The Ornithoctonus Uthai Thani.
I'm in a really awkward position to try and get the camera and stuff.
Are you? Well, that was good.
That'll teach you.
Come round here. Bring your stool. It's alright guys, we're just going to have a little move around. You remember, one of the things that I've actually been considering when we got some good news actually on our new room, and one of the things I'm considering is actually building a lower desk so that those that are vertically afflicted might have an easier job. Hey camera lady, yeah, make a little desk, short one. Yeah, okay. She's giving me dirty looks. Right, let's get this spider out again. We're going to come back down in here. There it is. It's getting used to it now, isn't it? Here she comes. Now these guys, as long as it's in the mouth of the hole, chances are it's going to stay relatively calm and pretty good. It's when we move it outside of the burrow, we need to be a little bit careful. What beautiful, beautiful colouring. We're just tickling her bum here and she's not actually reacting in any way. We'd just like her to come a little bit more. You can see how she's reluctant to leave the safety of that burrow. Isn't that gorgeous? Is that coming out well on the camera, or do we need a bit of light?
Bit of light.
We can try a bit of light. Let's see. There we go. Look at that. Okay. I see what you're up to, camera lady. You're trying to wind her up so that when we come to catch her, you can see them like gold bands on the joints of the upper leg there. Look how smart they are. There she is. Isn't that beautiful? It's these little bands that really separates them. If it wasn't for these bands, this would look a little bit like a cayenne kraken. But these bands really throw it up.
She's got very pretty carapace as well.
Here we go. As you can see, we have had absolutely no aggression so far, which is quite good.
Okay.
Right, so now we're going to try and see if we can't get her in a box.
You're getting a picky.
Oh yeah, I better, I don't know, that would be a good idea. Always good to get your thumbnails, otherwise we forget what we're on about. Right then, so what we're going to do now, I'm going to try and get her in this box. So we're going to, before we go near her with the box, we are going to put our paintbrush in here so that she knows we're behind her. And then we can come down here. Now with a fossorial spider, they are not keen on leaving. So it can all go an hour quick. So we're going to block the entrance to the hole off with the lid. There we go. You see how we've cleared it and we got her in the box. So that is her there. No problems whatsoever. Right. We are now going to put her in here.
Let me reposition.
Remember what you're looking at. Well, we're going to put this over here. We can now see if we can't walk her out onto this bit of moss. That would be nice, wouldn't it? We're just trying to maintain contact there. We're bringing her out very gently. And there she is. Look at that. Isn't that just absolutely beautiful? We'll try and get another picture. Get that on there. That is absolutely lovely. Right. So there she is. just gone for a little bit of a roller coaster ride there. We're going to get a bit more light. Now then, I'm not quite sure what went on there, but as we saw, she was very, very gentle, very steady. And as long as we don't give them reason to feel threatened, then there's no reason we should see any form of aggression from them. The colouring of her, I bet she's popping on that little bit of moss now. Looks very, very nice. Now this guy here, she's probably about half grown. So they will get bigger. They get up to about 4 to 5 inches. So it's quite a good size. This one we believe is female. So we're going to hang on to her. She's going to stay here in the beastie room. And we're going to grow her up. And then see if we can't pair her in the future. We have had a couple in the past, but they've matured into males. So we've never actually managed to secure a female. Look at the colouring. Her legs are actually jet black on the first segment, and then after that they go almost grey.
So it looks like she's got black toes at the back.
Yeah. Very, very, very pretty spider. Lovely. Now I'm not quite sure where her reputation come from. Many people have said about these being rather defensive. But she was perfectly well behaved. There she goes. Look, she's seen that. We'll have a nice look at her now. This, you can see the abdomen there, and there is actually there's a patterning going on that abdomen there. So you can see the dark markings making the patterning.
I saw it better a minute ago.
Yeah, it shines up well, doesn't it? And you can see how the legs have changed colour depending on how the light goes on them, how it reflects from them. There she goes.
No.
Tucked away, nice and happy. It looks like she's got one spinneret. It's slightly... Oh no, they do look alright. It's the way the light is catching them. It looked like she had a bit of a dodgy spinneret. But she's fine. Right, so that is our Ornithoctonus Uthai Thani from Thailand. And as we said, what we will do, we'll treat this spider exactly the same as the cobalt blue. And we shouldn't really go that far wrong. It should be quite an easy sort of transition. They're very, very similar. Same with the cayenne krakens. All of these sort of spiders, we can keep them all pretty much the same. In terms of temperature, again, you know, mid to high 70s, these are going to really, really flourish. They do like it warm. They do like a damp substrate. So by that, we mean damp where we can squeeze it and it will hold itself, but no water leaves it. If you squeeze it and you've got water or your hand is stuck with wet soil, then that is too damp. What we're looking for is something that's almost dry, but when we squeeze it, it will hold together and then it will just crumble. That's the kind of consistency we talk about when we're looking for our fossorial spiders. If we want to increase that by any, we can run it down the corners and fill the very, very bottom, and we can get that a little wetter, and then it will go through the soil and it will be fine. So just bear that in mind. Food wise, she will be fed on large crickets. They'll take them, and small roaches, red runners and things like that. They'll be absolutely okay. So hopefully she will set up a nice home, and we can look back on at a later date and see what's going on. And you'll also notice we are starting to fill up some of these glass enclosures again. This is because we had our build around at the weekend, and we are looking at starting our new build on the 5th of August. So by then we will start the groundworks, and my plan is to actually film as much as possible so that we can do a step-by-step of how we are going to create this room from literally ground up, and cover every aspect of it, so that if there's anyone else out there that fancies doing a similar thing as what we're going to do, then they can follow it and get ideas and a little bit of inspiration, hopefully, as to what we're going to do. This really is a dream come true.
We've got the beastie room coming back.
Yeah, this really is a dream come true to be able to do this room the way we're wanting to do it. So we've always sort of done other options and things. We've never done one built from the ground up. So this really is going to be a fantastic project and well worth the wait. It's taken us, what, 14 months or so to get this far. So it's been a long wait. We really appreciate you guys that have stuck with us, because it has been difficult. You know, we've done different bits and pieces, but it's been really, really hard to sort of keep up with the content that we used to do, purely because of lack of space, lack of all sorts of things, really. And every time we rehouse something, that needs room on a shelf somewhere. And to be honest with you, quite a lot of the time we haven't had room to be able to do these sort of things where we can leave them out there. So
Breeding as well, isn't it?
yeah, breeding, we've done very little breeding, down to time and space and everything else. We've had so much to do. So we are finally getting back on board, and I say we start on the 5th of August. So yeah, keep up with that, because we will have regular videos to show just how far we're getting on and what we're doing, and hopefully we can talk you through it and share the whole experience with you guys. And then once we're up and built, we have got some fantastic projects in order to carry on with. I've got some really good ideas that I want to try and share. So we're going to have an exciting time. This next year or so is going to be really, really exciting. Right. Well, I hope you enjoyed that. Oh, Uthai Thani. What a fabulous looking spider. She's still got her bum out, so she must be relatively comfortable. And so well behaved. Right then, until next time, don't forget, be calm, be gentle, and love your spider. And I'll see you all soon, guys.